Hey everyone, today we are tackling a problem I think we've all faced, that huge gap between knowing something and actually doing something with it. We're going to dig into the science and some incredible stories behind how to make learning really, truly stick. You know this feeling, right? You spend a whole day, maybe even a week, in some amazing training session. You're fired up, you're taking notes, you feel like you've got it. And then you get back to the daily grind, and a week later, it's just gone. Poof, like it evaporated. It's so frustrating, but what if I told you it doesn't have to be that way? So, the key to all of this has a name: the transfer of learning. It's the official term for taking what you learned in one place, like a classroom, and actually using it in a totally different place, like your job. The source material for this explainer calls it, and I love this, the crux of all learning. And this idea of a bridge is the perfect way to think about it. The real goal of learning isn't just remembering facts. It's about building that sturdy bridge from the island of knowing to the mainland of doing. And honestly, in our fast-changing world, being able to build that bridge, it's not just a nice little skill. Our sources say it's an issue of survival for you and for your organization. Okay, so how do we actually build this bridge? Well, the research is super clear. It doesn't just happen on its own. It needs three specific things to work together. You can think of them as the three giant pillars that hold the entire bridge up. So here they are. Number one, you, the learner. Number two, the way the training itself is designed. And number three, the workplace environment you go back to. Here's the catch. If even one of these pillars is weak, the whole bridge is at risk of collapsing. You need all three to be solid. Let's break that down. For you, the learner, it's all about your mindset. Are you motivated? Do you have the confidence to try something new? Are you open to maybe failing a couple of times? For the learning design, it's got to be relevant. You have to get a chance to practice. And for the workplace, well, that's all about support. Does your boss have your back? Do your coworkers encourage you? Or does everyone just kind of push you back into the old way of doing things? Theory is one thing, but stories are what make these ideas click. So let's look at a few powerful examples from the research that show these three pillars in action. You'll see what happens when they're strong and what happens when they start to crumble. Check this out. This is from a case manager after they finished a diploma course. And listen closely to what they're saying. It's not about learning some new spreadsheet formula. It's about an internal shift. The number one thing they got out of it was confidence, a personal transformation. And this is so important. The best learning doesn't just teach you what to do, it can actually change who you are. That new confidence, that's the learner pillar getting stronger, and it becomes the engine that drives everything else. Now, for a totally different story, this quote is from a teacher in the Cook Islands, and wow, does it paint a picture. Can you imagine learning all these incredible new ways to teach, and then going back to a workplace where the second you make one tiny mistake, everyone just piles on? This just screams about the power of that third pillar, the workplace environment. The source calls this a pull-you-down attitude, where the fear of being shamed is just overwhelming. In an environment like that, it doesn't matter how motivated you are or how great the training was, that bridge is going to be almost impossible to build. All right, let's look at one more of those amazing aha moments. This is from a business student who was studying from home. They were learning a new theory, and all of a sudden, it just clicked. It explained this confusing thing that happened at work years ago. Just like that, a light switch flips on. And that is the learning design pillar working perfectly. See, great learning doesn't just pile new facts on top of old ones. It helps you reorganize everything you already know. The source calls this preparation for future learning. It's like it refiles your old experiences so you can pull them out easily to solve problems you haven't even faced yet. So, we've seen the pillars, we've heard the stories, now let's get to the most important part. What can you actually do about all this? And the source material has this fantastic metaphor for how to take control of the whole process. Think about it. We can't just hope that new knowledge will magically find its way from the classroom into our daily work. It won't. It gets lost. It needs a guide. It needs someone to make a conscious effort to protect it, to nurture it, and to lead it exactly where it needs to go. And that good shepherd, well, that's you. The idea is that we have to actively shepherd our own learning. We have to be the champion for getting that knowledge out of our heads and into the real world. So how do you do it? How do you become a good shepherd? First, you gotta own your mindset. That's your pillar. Then you seek relevance in everything you learn. Connect it to your real-world problems. That engages the learning design. Third, you build a support system. Find your people, find a manager who gets it. That strengthens your workplace pillar. And finally, you have to practice and reflect. Use it right away and think about what's working. That's how you take charge. Look, if there's one thing you take away from all this, let it be this. Real, lasting learning is not a passive thing that just happens to you. It's an active process. It is a bridge that you, your instructors, and your workplace all have to decide to build, together, on purpose. So the next time you sign up for a course, or read a book, or even watch an explainer like this one, ask yourself this simple question. How are you going to be the Good Shepherd? How will you guide that new knowledge from just knowing to finally truly doing? The power to make it stick is right there in your hands.